Good morning. This is Dolia De Silva for Gold FM, bringing you your morning news.
The news headlines on Gold FM.
In your news headlines, fuel quotas up, and so are prices. Final decision on electricity tariffs next week. Daughter and son-in-law arrested for murder. And in news overseas, Trump gives Iran 48 hours.
The top story on Gold FM.
Significant changes to fuel supplies and pricing are set to took effect from midnight last night. The Ceylon Petroleum Corporation announced a major revision to the QR code-based quota system, increasing the weekly allowance for most vehicle categories. Passengers using motor cars will see their limits rise to 25 litres a week, an increase of 10 litres. Public transport and commercial sectors are also getting a boost. Bus operators will now be entitled to 100 litres, while van and lorry quotas have also been adjusted upwards. For vans, they will get 50 litres a week, which is an increase of 10 litres, and buses will get an increase of 40 litres. Land vehicles, meanwhile, will see their quotas increase to 40 litres, which is an increase of 15 litres. Meanwhile, motorcyclists will get 8 litres a week, which is an increase of 3 litres. However, fuel quotas for lorries and special purpose vehicles remain unchanged. While supply limits are increasing, fuel prices were also revised upwards. A litre of Octane 92 petrol was increased by 81 rupees and will now cost 398 rupees. Octane 95 petrol was increased by 90 rupees to 455 rupees. Auto diesel by 79 rupees to 382 rupees, super diesel by 90 rupees to 443 rupees, and kerosene by 60 rupees to 255 rupees. While these are the prices set by the Ceylon Petroleum Corporation, the LIOC said it will match the CPC's revised prices for Octane 92 petrol and auto diesel. The decision on Octane 95 petrol and super diesel is pending. In the meantime, the government's odd-even licence plate policy continues to mitigate congestion at pumps, with today's access restricted to vehicles ending in even digits. However, tensions still prevail. In Kantale yesterday, a staff member at a filling station was hospitalised after being assaulted for refusing to pump fuel without a QR code. CCTV footage captured a group attacking the worker after an initial dispute over the mandatory scanning system. Police arrested the suspects.
This is the local news on Gold FM.
Sri Lanka's energy regulator, the Public Utilities Commission, will announce its final decision on electricity tariffs for the second quarter of 2026 this Thursday. A senior spokesperson confirmed that a special press briefing is scheduled for the 26th to reveal whether a price hike will be implemented. A proposal was earlier submitted requesting a 13.56% increase in electricity bills to cover rising operational costs. Public consultations regarding the price hike have concluded following a 3-week period where stakeholders and consumers submitted their feedback on the proposed adjustment. Opposition leader Sajith Premadasa says the Norachole coal power plant recorded its highest ever energy generation deficit due to the use of substandard coal. In the interest of clarity, we have refrained from dubbing his remarks.
බැලුවොත් මෙගාවට් 51ක් 13 130ක් 14 වෙනිදා 135ක් 15 වෙනිදා 132ක් 16 වෙනිදා 148ක් 17 වෙනිදා 165ක් 18 වෙනිදා 176ක් 19 වෙනිදා 165ක් මං හිතන්නේ මෑත දවස් ටික බැලුවොත් වැඩිම බලශක්ති උත්පාදන හිඟය සිද්ධ වෙලා තිබෙන්නේ ඊයේ දවසේ 179ක් මෙගාවට් හිඟයක් තිබෙනවා ඒ තුලින් බලශක්ති අනාරක්ෂිතතාවය නිර්මාණය වෙනවා විදුලි කප්පාදුවකට යෑමේ බරපතල තත්ත්වයක් නිර්මාණය වෙනවා මේ දත්ත පිළිගන්නේ නැත්නම් මට හිතා ගන්න බෑ රජය කාගේ දත්තද පිළිගන්නේ කියලා. මම හිතන්නේ එහෙනම් රජයට ලොකු ආශාවක් ඇති සැපියුම් කරුවයි එක එක ආයතන ලබා දෙන ලෝඩ් පෝර්ට් රිපෝට් සහ ඩිස්පැච් පෝර්ට් රිපෝට් මත පදනම්ව තමන්ගේ රාජ්‍ය ප්‍රතිපත්තිය ක්‍රියාත්මක කරන්න. හැබැයි එකක් කියන්න කැමති ඒකින් සිදු වෙන්නේ අපේ රටේ ජාතික සම්පතට කරන මහා විනාශය බිලියන ගණනක් අපේ රටට මුදල් අහිමි කරන ක්‍රියාවක් මේක අන්ත දූෂිතයි මේ රටේ පැහැදිලි ප්‍රගතිශීලී විපක්ෂය හැටියට සමගි ජන බලවේගයත් සමගි ජන සංධානයක් රට වෙනුවෙන් ක්‍රියාත්මක විය යුතු ජාතික බලශක්ති ප්‍රතිපත්තිය නිර්මාණය කරනවා අපි ඒක රටට ඉදිරිපත් කරනවා එකක් අවබෝධ කරගන්නට ඕන මේ ජාතික ප්‍රතිපත්තිය නිර්මාණය වෙන්නේ එක් තනි පාර්ශ්වකරුවන්ගේ ඕනෑපාකම් වලට සල්ලි මළු වලට ඩොලර් කුට්ටි වලට යට වෙලා නෙවෙයි.
Former Minister of Foreign Affairs Ali Sabri says Sri Lanka must not get involved in external conflicts, as the island nation faces mounting pressure to take sides in global power struggles. Speaking after reports that the government declined a US request to land military aircraft, Sabri told India Today that small countries cannot afford to be dragged into choices that are not their own.
I am proud that President had the courage and foresight to do what is right thing to do. We shouldn't get involved in any conflicts. Small countries, we cannot take sides, and these are not choices which we have made. So why should we get dragged into it? Sri Lanka has always maintained that we are an independent country and strategic autonomy. Given that situation, however powerful America may be, I had the right decision to take, and I'm proud that our President had taken that decision.
Is it difficult to be neutral and not succumb to pressure from such a large nation like US because they're the world superpower?
Yes, it is, because we are economically, commercially, geopolitically, as well as diplomatically bound with so many people around the world. But if you consistently take up the position that we cannot take sides, and it's Sri Lankan people will not support taking sides. Sri Lanka has, that ferociously independent foreign policy for a long period of time. Whenever somebody had taken a side of any time, the next election they will be voted out by the public of Sri Lanka.
On the matter of maritime security and recent incidents in Sri Lankan waters, the former minister called for a firm diplomatic stand and greater regional cooperation to protect the Indian Ocean.
I think it's very, very important. Smaller countries like Sri Lanka cannot stand alone. Littoral states cannot stand alone. We are part of this Indian Ocean culture. We are littoral states, and all of us must get together. Particularly, India has to play a major role in that and exert the pressure on the external players that we would like to have our ocean, Indian Ocean, as a zone of peace. We don't want external conflict coming into our oceans. There are so much of opportunities for our people in that area. For that, you need pace, you need stability, you need predictability, you need freedom of navigation. So when you conflict in that particular area, all these things get affected. So it is not geopolitics and conflict itself, it is economic, and ultimately it will trickle down to the people's life standard.
On a slightly different note, Sabri advocated for opening Sri Lankan skies to more foreign carriers to boost tourism, admitting he is not a fan of the government running business.
Sri Lankan airline cannot provide for our potential, and we don't have the money to invest on that. And personally, if you ask me, I'm not a great fan of government running businesses. So taking all this into consideration, in order for the country to prosper and actually achieve the true potential of our tourism, we need to have a lot of traffic, and Sri Lanka could be a hub. In order to do so, we need to get so many other players. Already, it is the Middle Eastern carriers which bring a lot of tourists from the Europe, Qatar Airways, Emirates Airlines, Air Arabia, Kuwait Airways. So it's important that we provide them a platform so that Sri Lanka will become a regional hub. A small country like Sri Lanka had to use those kind of facilities that we have in order to make it more attractive to the carriers to come, and as well as the tourists to come, and also to transit through Sri Lanka.
Police are seeking detention orders for a woman and her husband suspected of murdering a senior lecturer from the University of Jaffna. The body of the academic, a senior faculty member in Indigenous medicine, was discovered in a woodland near Chavakacheri following a missing persons report filed by his son on the 18th. Investigators tracked the suspects across the north using digital footprints, confirming they withdrew cash from an ATM in Parantan and used a QR code to purchase fuel in Trincomalee. Detectives allege the son-in-law entered the victim's Pandianthalvu home through the roof before the couple strangled her, reportedly due to opposition to their marriage. The victim's body remains at Jaffna Teaching Hospital for a post-mortem examination.
Now for some news in brief.
The Department of Meteorology warns that the temperature felt on the human body is likely to increase up to caution level at some places in the western, Sabragamua, southern and northwestern provinces and in the Anuradhapura, Mononagala, Mana and Vaunia districts today.
The business news on Gold FM.
Billionaire entrepreneur Elon Musk offered to cover the paychecks of United States Transportation Security Administration officers as protracted federal funding lapse enters its fifth week. The world's richest man made the proposal via his social media platform X, stating he wishes to support the roughly 50,000 airport security staff currently working without pay. The offer comes as TSA personnel are days away from missing a second full paycheck due to a budget impasse over the Department of Homeland Security, the agency's parent body.
International news on Gold FM.
US President Donald Trump threatened to obliterate Iranian power plants unless the Strait of Hormuz is fully opened within 48 hours. In a post on Truth Social, the president warned that the United States would target the country's largest energy facilities first if the maritime passage is not cleared of threats. This is after earlier claims that his administration effectively blew Iran off the map, asserting that the Iranian leadership is gone and its military capabilities are dead. Tehran responded to the deadline via state media, vowing to target American-linked energy infrastructure across the Gulf region should its own facilities be struck. The Speaker of the Iranian Parliament, Mohammad Bagheri Ghalibaf, had earlier stated that the time has come to implement pre-planned strategies, suggesting that recent missile strikes near Dimona prove Israeli airspace is defenseless. Meanwhile, the Israel Defense Forces issued a statement following the launch of Iranian long-range missiles, which the IDF claims are capable of reaching distances of 4,000 kilometers. While the military warned that cities such as London, Paris and Berlin are now within range, experts have significant doubts regarding Iran's ability to strike such distant targets, including the joint US-UK base at Diego Garcia. In Israel, the Education Minister Yoav Kish cancelled all in-person classes for the next 2 days, following missile strikes in Dimona and Arad. A fresh security assessment is expected before Tuesday to determine if schools can safely reopen. Meanwhile, the United Kingdom Maritime Trade Operations reported an explosion near a vessel 15 nautical miles north of Sharjah in the United Arab Emirates. The captain reported the blast was caused by an unknown projectile, though all crew members were confirmed safe.
Entertainment news on Gold FM.
Amazon MGM's Project Hail Mary rocketed to the top of the domestic box office charts on Friday, en route to a stellar opening weekend. The Phil Lord and Christopher Miller's movie earned $33 million domestically from 4,007 locations. The sci-fi drama is expected to blast off to $77 million by Sunday.
Sports news on Gold FM.
The 92nd Battle of the Saints at SSC ended in a hard-fought draw as St. Peter's College finished their second innings at 215 for 9 to survive the final day yesterday. St. Joseph's College dominated the scoring with a declared first innings of 3-5-2 for 8 and a swift 190 for 3 in their second, setting a challenging target. Despite the Josephine offensive, the Peterites held firm in a tense finish to ensure that the trophy remained shared for another year. Meanwhile, the 121st Lovers' Quarrel at the Galle International Stadium ended in a draw after 3 days of competitive action between the traditional rivals. Mahinda College claimed a narrow first innings lead, posting 332 for 9 declared in response to Richmond's 315, anchored by Randula Marbarana's unbeaten 109. Richmond College safely reached 83 for 1 in their second innings by the close of play, ensuring the historic encounter concluded without a decisive result. Meanwhile in Kandy, the 119th Battle of the Maroons entered a critical phase as Kingswood College reached 102 for 2 in their second innings at Day 2 stumps, holding a lead of 168 runs. Earlier, Kingswood's first innings of 226 was powered by a brilliant 112 from Kavi Jagamage, while Dharmaraja responded with 160 as Kinula Bihilangala dominated with a 5-wicket haul. That's it for now. This is Zulia De Silva for Gold FM.